Do you play music yourself?
I was given a bass when I was 15. I met a friend of mine at Eglinton Station, and he didn't have a case and he didn't have anything. He just had this like turquoise blue bass, and he just gave it to me in the subway station. And I took it home and it went into a closet and it stayed there for about 3 years. No, I don't think, I would have been too scared to make music, I think. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think I would have wanted to try to express myself in any sort of sense at that point. I think I was too busy trying to criticize and take in everybody else's, expressions, I've got a thing for Michael Nyman. It's been going on for years.
Uh-huh.
And maybe the Greenway thing too a little bit, but not a lot. More the music. Since I was about 18, I got draftsman's contract, and it just, I think just because I sang in a choir for so long, mm-hmm. that whole classical, the Purcell and Haydn and all those guys, and mm-hmm. I sang that stuff for years, and it's kind of, I kind of forget that it's there, but it's burnt into my brain and my heart. So, I think there's just something really classically beautiful about it, and there's something really graceful, and I think classical music is very sexy. I hope that doesn't come across as weird. Kind of went through my mom's records, She was she worked in the jazz department in A&A in the 60s, in the 50s, I should say. So she had a lot of jazz records, and she got to know those people. Like, she hung out with Monk, and she hung out with, she hung out with Mingus. She met these guys and met them because they would come into the record store. So I'd be listening to that. And then my mom would play me like Errol Garner records, and she'd be playing me like Mingus records. And it was, I guess that kind of skewed me a little bit, I don't know how many 7-year-olds were listening to Mingus, but that was my mom though. That wasn't me. That was my mom. So yeah. So. She's a cool lady. And, at that point, what music was I listening to? That was basically about it, I didn't really start buying stuff until I was about 13. But that was 6 years before all that. I think the first thing I ever bought was a Wings cassette at Simpsons. And it was like a best of, because I really liked Jet. Because I had a real thing for James Bond, and I still do. That'll never go away. And that, it just continued from there. I just kept buying cassettes because I had a clock radio. Because back in 1983, we all had clock radios, right? And I had a cassette player in it. That was my thing. So I would play music in my room, much to the chagrin of my parents. Because, they were it changed very quickly, It went from Wings to Virgin Prunes and, Birthday Party. And my mom's like, who's being murdered in your room? And that was within a two-year space of time. I morphed very quickly, hanging out at record stores, just taking in everything I could take in. Going down to Peddler and talking to Brian and, Chris Toomey, who worked there at the time. And I know, and it was cool too, because Queen Street was actually still fun, especially Queen East, because that was kind of a no man's land. And for a 13 to 14-year-old to go down there and be like, who's that scary guy behind the counter? And, now I've known him. He's like my older brother, mm-hmm. Brian Taylor. Yeah, it was cool. Toronto was scary and fun, and you'd walk into rooms and, I would wear a Cramps t-shirt, and some guy would look at me and he'd all have bondage stuff on, and he'd be like, oh, the Cramps, I love the Cramps. And I'd be like, I'm home. It's like, who's that guy with the cool hair and he's playing saxophone, and all these punks around there, and it's and people that I would see walking around downtown that that I knew, and some of them I feared, and funnily enough, I'm actually friends with now. But it was cool, it was just, again, it's when Queen Street was good, and it was it was exciting, I didn't know anything about the bands. I didn't care. I wanted to support local talent. I think it was free on a Wednesday. I was getting served beer. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, it was cool. I had a lot of fun. Some of the best memories I have. It's hard because when I think of what makes me sad, it's usually loss or times that I had that are gone now. Right. And then there's music that I played that I can still listen to now. I remember when my daughter was born, about 9 years ago, 9.5. But yeah, just stuff that was really, it was important to me. Yeah, there's definitely songs, yeah.
What does your daughter listen to?
She really likes Drake right now. She really liked the Spice Girls for a bit. I tried to get her into Prince Buster and and Jackie Opal when she was like 6 months old because she would do this little wiggle waggle dance to it. But I don't think she's a Brock City or ska fan yet. But she likes sort of contemporary songs. Like I remember she liked Imagine Dragons for a little bit. I mean, she can listen to whatever she wants. I love the fact that she's even looking for things because that's what I did, and she's doing it kind of around the same time that I did, even earlier. I think there's an acceleration on it. I'd love to know what she's going to listen to in like 20 years from now. You know, you know, she could be, I don't know, she could be listening to Brotsman. I don't know. She could be listening like, you know, like, I mean, complete free Skronk, you know, like, because I mean, you figure that all these records are going to just keep getting reissued, and you know, she'll be into Han Bennick and, you know, Brotsman and all those guys. I mean, I don't know, who knows? I mean, it's stuff. Something came out of me because of my mom, so I'm hoping something comes out of my daughter because of me. Hopefully, if that doesn't sound arrogant or egotistical, but because I don't want to be. I just really love the fact she keeps exploring. You know, it's not just like I like this.